Okay, welcome everyone. Dana Louise Williams here. I am your soul mission mentor and artist of change. And the artist in me is really excited about introducing you to my friend Kelly and Kelly's friend Pascal. We are doing a little fundraising for Pascal. Kelly's going to tell you all about him, and we're going to run through some slides of some of his paintings and sculptings. And I just have a funny little story about the GoFundMe. Years ago, and I work with people around the world on Skype and Zoom. And years ago, I had a discovery call with a woman, and she was saying how she was really working in the community, and she was doing all these fundraisers, and she had personal problems on the side, but she was very passionate about this, community fundraising, right? And I don't know. I thought she said it was crowdfunding that she was doing. And I thought, oh my God, this woman's a kook. She's raising money for crows. And so every time I would hear about a crowd fund, my brain would go to crowdfunding. And I think, what are all these people? Are they in a trance? Why are they so worried about these crows? Anyway, so I just thought I would share that funny little story. Kelly, can you tell us about Dear Pascal? I'm so excited for everyone to hear about his story, and to perhaps put a few dollars down to support him. So take it away.
Oh, thanks. Thank you, Dana. Pascal is my friend, and he's one of the first people I met 14 years ago when I moved to Taos. He's 90 years old now. He lives in an apartment up in the mountains at a place where the landlady kind of takes care of people who need a little extra hand, a trip to town to get groceries and things like that. And he paints every day. He's a prolific artist and sculptor. He paints. I did this little slideshow that we can show some of his paintings and his sculpture, but especially to know that we're doing this crowdfunding because his apartment is just full of paintings. It's so crowded that his landlady is nervous that it's just not safe for him. And it is hard to get around because you're dodging piles of paintings. And so we're doing a crowd through GoFundMe. And we're going to build a shed for him, and it will be a nice insulated shed that will keep the paintings dust free. I'll have access to them so I can bring them out and show people and when they want to buy. He loves anatomy, and these two paintings that you've just seen are from the Navajo country. When he first moved to the States, to New Mexico in the 70s, he lived on the Navajo land for several years. And he paints a lot of figurative art, and some of it gets really silly. These two pieces aren't so silly. This is a picture from his table of art supplies. I never knew it, but you can actually use oil pastel before you paint on an oil canvas. And that's what he does. And this is him just the other day doing a drawing of me. He was so happy to have a live model again. He mostly paints from memory and his imagination now.
He looks like a sweet character.
He is. He's got a great sense of humor. He'll say, I don't know why I paint. I just have to paint. And he loves anatomy. This is a close-up of one of his huge paintings. A lot of his paintings are quite big, like 54 by 45 is a real common size for him. Once in a while, he'll do small ones. And a lot of times his anatomy paintings will turn into almost abstracts because he just gets into the flow and the curves. And you'll see different subjects come in a lot of paintings, like this long hair, the girl with the long blonde braid is in a lot of his paintings. This is a photo of his father. Pascal was 15 years old during World War II, and his father, they lived in France and moved to Spain. His father was in the resistance, so the Nazis really wanted to find his father. This is a little map Pascal did about Switzerland in the middle of a war all about money. The Nazis are all over Europe. When he was 15, the Nazis captured him. They were going to shoot him. They wanted to find out where his father was. His father was an important resistor. So they're ready to shoot Pascal or scare him into telling where his father is. Well, he didn't know where his father was, and he probably wouldn't have told anyway. And he started laughing. And this young Nazi soldier, Pascal just found it absurd, the whole war absurd, and that these young men are here threatening this young boy, him, into telling where his own father is. So he's laughing at the absurdity. That's his sense of humor. He can laugh easily. And they ended up bashing him in the teeth. He lost almost all his teeth because of that. And from there, they took him and some other prisoners to, they were on the way to go to the prison camps or where they torture people to get information. And Pascal was able to use his wit to escape because he had been brought up in his mother's family's house, which was a big old house, and he knew how to work with the old keys. So he tricked the Nazis when they went out to the bathroom. He did something to the door so that it would seem like it was locked, but it wasn't. So he and like 12 other people that were being taken were able to escape. So he spent the rest of the war in the mountains, hiding and being part of the resistance. Yeah, he's quite the character. And Pan, how would you describe Pan? The nature spirit shows up in a lot of his paintings, and there's the blonde girl again with the braid. And the chimpanzees show up a lot too. He told me a story the other day about before he became a real painter, he said, he spent a year working for the circus, and he watched two chimpanzees in the circus. A little boy had been teasing them through the cage, like giving them food and then pulling it back. And he said the two chimpanzees put their head together and they were talking. And then one of them got closer and closer to the cage. And then at a certain moment put his hands through the cage and grabbed the kid by the head and scared the kid to death, I'm sure. And then let go and went over to the other chimpanzee and was laughing. And Pascal said at that moment he realized how human-like those chimpanzees were, that they could plan something out and then have such a laugh over it afterwards.
Wow. And it's so beautiful that he's still with us. And you were telling me just before we came on that what a day in the life of Pascal is like. Would you share that again, Kelly?
Oh, yeah. So I asked Pascal, he'll say, oh, I want you to come visit. I'll say, well, what time? What time do you get up? He says, well, I get up at 5 or 6 in the morning and I make coffee and then I start painting. I paint every day. And then I don't go to bed until like 1 in the morning, 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock. And he doesn't sleep much, but he paints a lot.
Wow.
And he also sculpts with clay. So everywhere, this is on top of his refrigerator, painting and sculpture and just everywhere.
Wow.
And there's Pan again with the horns.
And are these all oils?
Most of them are. This is clay. He did the chess set of clay. Um, he was telling me about his mother's uncle, his grand uncle, who kind of raised him, was a father figure, and he played a lot of chess. Pascal speaks so many different languages. A few years ago, he had a stroke, and the only reason he realized he had a stroke was because he was talking to somebody and they weren't understanding a word he was saying. So he had to concentrate on what words were coming out of his mouth, and he was getting jumbled with English and Spanish and French and Greek and Latin and German. So that's why he lives in this apartment now. Before that, he lived in a tiny little shed that, like in somebody's backyard that was just full of paintings. And, he doesn't care about money, but now he's in a position where we really need to build this shed, and, neither of us have enough money to do it on our own, so we're asking for help.
Mm-hmm. And all of these paintings are for sale, correct?
Yes, there might be a few that are pictured that are no longer available, but there's also more to see on my website, which is winkvisualarts.com, and there's a page that says Wink Presents.
Great.
So here's one of his watercolors. Yeah, a lot of the watercolors are for sale on my website, and then a lot of the other paintings are shown. He does these adorable, I just love his watercolors. And he always uses really high quality paper. This is archival watercolor paper. And his oil paintings, he stretches his own canvases. And it's just amazing what this man is doing. And every day, still at age 90, he's still painting every day. It's such an inspiration.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a gift.
Yeah, his studio is pretty full.
So all the artists that are watching this, what a support for people to even just donate, what they can. It doesn't have to be a lot.
Right. That's the great thing about GoFundMe. People can donate like $5 and you get a few people to do that and it adds up. Most of the people that I'm just learning about these GoFundMe accounts, and I guess you're supposed to prepare it like a launch, but I just kept hitting next. So it ended up that it launched before I was able to really contact a lot of people, but it's still there.
Yeah.
And this next slide,
Look at this is
one will give
beautiful.
the GoFundMe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
It's GoFundMe.com/K4GTN-creative-space.
okay. And can you tell us a little bit about this picture of, look at him. He doesn't look 90. He looks like,
I think he might have been 88 in this picture.
okay, he looks pretty vital.
He is pretty vital.
And it's hot where you
think,
are.
It's hot. We're in northern New Mexico, and in the summer, Pascal, he barely wears a shirt. He will if he goes to town, but if he's at his own studio, he's usually not wearing a shirt. But anytime I go to visit him, he comes outside and watches me drive away and waves. It reminds me of when I was a little kid and would go to Grandma and Grandpa's. It was like always the goodbyes were real. And when you're 90, the goodbyes are, pretty important as well as the hello.
Exactly. Wow. So we will have this link at the bottom of this video for folks to go ahead and, feel into their hearts and support Pascal so that he can continue his beautiful works of art. And we will keep you posted on how much we get for him and maybe unfold the story as it goes along. Wouldn't that be a nice idea, Kelly?
Yeah, thank you. That would really be a nice idea.
Yeah.
And thank you so much, Dana, and everybody who's looking at this. So yeah, the donations really help to build the shed. And if you're interested in purchasing any of his art, you can contact me direct. I'm sort of his, I guess, agent, even though it's not a profession. I'm just trying to help him.
Well, angels are agents too. So you're just an angel helping him. How do you like that?
Yeah, I like that. Thank you.
Welcome. So Kelly, I'm going to stop the recording. Is there anything else you wanted? Maybe run the GoFundMe link out, say it out loud again in case people are writing it down as you say it.
Sure. Also, I'll say it so you can write it down, and also if you even just do the search Pascal Paints, you'll find it. But it's gofundme.com/K4GTN-creative-space.
Great. Okay, perfect. So I can't find, can you stop sharing, Kelly, so I can find the stop recording button?
Sure.
Oh wait, no, here it is. I see it now. Okay, so thank you very much, everyone, for your generosity. And Kelly, thank you so much for helping Pascal.